Hi there, this video is continuing on from the last video, which was the all carbon WetCell 6-layer with adjustments video. It's been idle for 2 days just sitting around, and today we're at nearly 15 minutes of charge at 5 volts. It's only got 0.600 milliamps, 600 milliamps. And sitting around, the cell's still not too bad. It's sort of clearer than that other cell. It's currently still in the state of 4 cells as it left off from the last video. And we're at almost 15. The voltage hasn't dropped on this charge, I've noticed. Seems to do that after a few charges when it gets hot, maybe. Today it's quite cool. We got ambient temperature of 28. Alright, I'll stop the logger and disconnect the power and swap the data logger leads. Okay, we're holding 2.2. We're on 50 milliamps for our load. Starting. Yeah, we dropped a bit quicker than we normally will. I don't think we'll get at 2 minutes at 2 volts on the first charge. Nah, we didn't. Alright, we'll see how long this goes for. It probably needs a couple of charges to get up to specs again or something, or it's dying, I'm not sure. But the cell looks intact on the copper plates and graphite. After a few more charges on the 4 layers, I'll either take off a layer or think about it, or add an extra layer or build it back up, depending on the run we get. Well, the house power just went out, storm. First charge after the 2 days idle, only 19 milliwatt hours, we're at 0.8. The laptop's battery's not that great, it's running on battery now, so I'll have to can the experiment. Hope the power comes back on soon. Okay, it's the next day after the power outage. It was out for 3 hours, so I didn't bother that day. So it's 4 days the cell since the last video, and this is its first charge today. And it's been on for less than a minute. Alright, I'll give it 15 and then come back. We'll have to do 2 more charges to see its average, and then I'm gonna pull out a cell, go to 3. It's only got 4 layers. No. 1, 2. I think it's only got 3 layers, but I'll find out when I pull it apart. Okay, somewhat over the 15 minutes, 17 minutes 42 seconds. The curve's sort of just flat. We're holding 2.2. I've already swapped the leads, and we're ready for a 50 milliamp discharge. Should be around about 19 milliwatt hours, but we did just drop rapidly there. Alright, I'll be back. Well, for that 17-minute charge, we got 17 milliwatt hours and 15 minutes. Not so good, not really, compared to the other ones. So I'll try again, see what happens. If it's still not responding, I'll drop off a layer. Oh yeah, I can clear this. Start the monitor, connect the power. Oops. Yeah. We're down on our milliamps going through the cell. I haven't added any water or anything. Hasn't dropped in levels really. Surprise, it's just open. It's going a bit grayer. I gave it a bit of a stir though today. It's unusual. Yeah, the charge voltage is the same and less. We're normally pulling 900 milliamps. I'll get back in 15, try to. Okay, second charge for the day on the cell. 15 minutes. I'll stop the monitor, disconnect power supply and swap data logger leads. Okay, we should have a voltage in a minute. Yep, we're at 2.2 and we'll do a 50 milliamp load. Alright, a little bit holding its voltage above 2, but not as long as it was the other day. Maybe the chargers do change the electrolyte a bit. Alright, I'll get back. See if we get our 17 milliwatt hours. Okay, so I think this is the third run, 17 minutes and 19 milliwatt hours on that 15-minute charge. I'll do one more and then I'll drop off a layer, and I think we'll be down to 2, I reckon, but I've kind of forgotten how many's actually in there today. Alright, I'll set up a charge and get back on the discharge. Just showing the major jump in the milliamp charge we're putting into it. It was up near 900 peaked. So that's new. Alright, this one might perform a bit better on the third, fourth charge. Could mean the electrolyte is getting altered and seems to be a lot more bubbles coming out of the cell now. We woke the cell up, perhaps. Okay, I'll be back. Well, this charge made its way down to 490 milliamps and fluctuating. It's going up and down, and 20 minutes shot it. So disconnect this, disconnecting charger, and connecting data logger. Alright, I'm oversetting the ends of the data logger all the time. Test number 4, 20 minutes. We're still not holding our voltage like we were the other day. Well, after this run, I'll take the cell out and see what we got. Okay, I'll be back with the update. Okay, that last run there was 21 milliwatt hours and 19-minute run, so we slightly improved after 4 charges, 2 at 20 minutes. So we have those results. We're going to compare the 3-layer, which is 3 home layers stacked on top of each other and 3 manganese dioxide layers stacked on each other without a separator. Hang on. No, it has a separator, sorry. It was just black looking. Alright, so I'll give that second cell, or the original 3-layer cell, this darker one, 15-minute charge, and I'll get back. Okay, the charge curve for the original 3-layer cell, that's this one here. The darker cell, the first one we tested. It's holding its 2.1, it had 15-minute charge, and it was around about 800 milliamps still when I disconnected just then. And we'll do a load test. See if the first one's down like the other one, which was I think 17 milliwatt hours. Actually, this one's holding its voltage. And the second cell, which was the 6 layer, which we took it down to 3, it was identical to that cell, but layered different, is now a 2 layer cell, still layered in a different format, where we had the manganese, the home carbon, and then a separator, and then the next lot of cells like that stacked. One thing I've noticed there's a build up on that cell, on this electrode, on the negative electrode, and the carbon is actually stuck to it. So I'm going to try graphite pads with the electrolyte in the split cell with the membrane glued in. That will be a later experiment. Alright, I'll let this one discharge and see what we got. Back, 17 milliwatt hours on the first charge on the original cell. That's funny, because that's what we got with the other one. And 17 minutes, I think that might have been up higher maybe, or it's a duplicate perhaps. I'll give it another charge and see what we get then. Second charge, this one looks like a battery. The voltage is starting down at 3. It's worked its way up in a couple of, about a minute. But the power curve for the milliamps has started low and it's worked its way up. Alright, I'll update later. Oops, overshot the 15, we're at 17 minutes. Disconnecting the monitor. Swapping the leads. So our charge graph looks like the voltage went up and then started declining like we're getting with the other one. But the milliamps also was going down on this one. We're at 2.2, so let's see how long we hold out that. Still, the voltage is higher on this cell. It's only got one separator there. And the same amount of carbon. It's the same electrolyte and everything, same batch as well. Looking good for just layered on top of each other carbon. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, we're 14 minutes into the second test on the very first cell with the 6 layers stacked on each other. 15 milliwatt hours. We're not going to get much more, so I can cancel the thing. But I'll do another 15-minute charge just to verify that our milliwatt hours is down compared to the new way of designing the cell or layering it. Alright, I'll give it another charge and see what we get. Third charge of the original 6 layer cell, just finishing, 17 minutes, 18 actually. Disconnect the charge. Okay, data log is all good, we're at 2.2, starting the test. Voltage is holding good this time. But this one foams up quite a bit. Copper salts are forming. 2 volts above 1 minute on this run. So the voltage seems to be better in this cell. But still early. Nah, we didn't get a minute, so I'll get back. So still down low, 14 milliwatt hours on this one, 14 minutes. So now, I think the cell, the new cell's beat the old cell in its construction, so it pays to make a carbon cell and layer them that way. That's a complete cell with 2 carbons either side. So we have 2 in here now. I'm going to try that to see if it does matter, and then eventually work our way down to 1 and see what happens. Again, alright, I'll set up and see if I want to do the test. The first charge for the two layer test, and 17 minutes, bit over. A strange looking curve. Disconnecting the charger and connecting the data logger. So this is the 2-layer cell now, and we should get some voltage. Yeah. Oh, we might be cooked cell. Ah, the cell's reversed. Yeah. Must be at that where it did that weird. Because we're at minus 0.59. That's strange how it does that. It wasn't that way when I charged it. What do we get here? We're 7.72. I wonder why it does that happened. And we'll see what's in it, but I don't think it will work. Nah, cut straight out. Alright, I'll charge it up in that fashion and see what happens. I'll give it less charge. Perhaps where that big spike went did something. Might not like that high voltage and only 2 cells. Alright, I'll get back with new charge. Okay, it's been 11 minutes, so try that out. Disconnect that, take off the charger. Alright, we're 1.8.6. We're low on voltage. It's holding 1.1. It's swapped around though, it's dropping fast. I still reckon it doesn't have enough power to do a test. Only just. That's 2 layers, but for some reason the poles swapped. Alright, I'm gonna end the experiment today and see what it is tomorrow. See if they swap around. Alright, till then. Hi there, it's the next day with the 2-layer cell. The poles are still around the wrong way. That was the negative. Now that is the negative. And we're only at 0.5 volts there, and on the data logger it doesn't even show anything. So I'll start logging. And I'll give it 15 minutes and we'll see what it's like. Oops, I overran that. It's 17 minutes, nearly 20 minutes, and it's got a strange looking power curve. I'll disconnect this. Take the power off. We're at 1.5 volts. Oh. Reconnecting data logger. Only 1 volt. Something wrong with the cell now. And I doubt it if it's even going to run for any more than 2 minutes. Well, it's not even going to run. Try now. Well, so definitely something going on with the cell. So, since it's not working, I'm going to try just the carbon pads in the electrolyte, separated by the membrane, and we'll see what we get. That will tell us if the carbon pads are actually doing anything, or all the work is being done by the graphite pad. I've seen enough of this cell, so I'll settle that up and I'll get back. Okay, I have 2 graphite pads in the tubs. I'm not sure, without any carbon, just the graphite pad attached to the copper collector steel, as we had. Not sure which one's the negative at the moment. Yeah, got that right, we're at 1 volt there. So we should see a noticeable difference here if the carbon is having an effect, because we don't have any carbon layers on the graphite pads anymore. It's just plain graphite. So we'll give this one a charge up. Okay, first I'll swap the leads. Oh, hang on, get rid of that one. That one on. It's funny, it's sitting at a higher voltage already. What I suspect, it might be just the graphite pad doing all the work. Alright, start the monitor. Connecting power supply now. Alright, we're still getting pretty good milliamps going through the cell. Alright, I'll give this one a 15 minutes and I'll get back and we'll see what the results are. Okay, we've been charging the cell for 20 minutes. It's the liquid twin tub. One side's clear, the other side's gone grey. So I'll stop this. Disconnecting the charge. 2.5 volts. I'll connect the data logger in the correct order. Alright, we're holding our 2.2, that's looking good, and we're ready for a discharge test of a twin sub WetCell separated with the same separator, just different setup. It's glued in between the 2 tubs. Silicon holds it all together pretty well and it doesn't interfere with anything. You need some overhang because the membrane actually shrinks, so the more you have hanging out there the better it is. This cell sort of has a leak at the bottom, a slow one, so it will leak. My other first cell didn't leak. It's only because those tubs bend right where they're joined. So, in theory, this should be under 17 milliwatt hours if the other carbon separators and that were working. It might be, it seems to be dropping quickly, but we'll give it 3 charges to see if. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, the twin WetCell tub discharge test number 1, 13 milliwatt hours. That's only 4 milliwatt hours down from a layered cell on the first charge. And it went for 15 minutes. We're getting about the same time, but a little bit less power density. So the carbon pads don't look like they're doing too much, maybe, I don't know. I'll give it another charge and we'll see what happens. Till then. The second charge, we're 19 minutes and starting to see noticeable changes now in the cell. We're going a brownish colour in that cell and really dark in that cell. So either we got copper coming through the graphite plate. That's probably where the brown stuff was coming from, I noticed before. So now we have two distinct electrolytes in a tub, separated by a membrane. They're not mixing, so let's see what the results of that is. So I'll just stop the monitor, disconnecting the power, and connecting the data logger up the other way around. Alright, so we still got our 2.2 here, holding well. We'll start a test. I did notice the voltage went down here. Starting 50 milliamp draw. But we're still not holding our 2 volts like this cell was doing. That will have a mix of that electrolyte we got going on there. I don't have any pH testers yet. It would be interesting to see too. One thing I noticed on the when I pulled it out, the cells, part of the glue around the bottom edge here is starting to separate. That means the electrolyte's working its way in as the graphite pad's reducing due to electrolysis. I would have thought the positive side would have, the graphene would have reduced, but it's taken the copper maybe. The outer shell of that plate's all good, it's still intact, and the cell's well in from the edge. Alright, I'll get back with the results. Our other discharge, we got 17 milliwatt hours and 21 minutes on that one. Cell hasn't got any darker on this side. So we'll give it another charge, see what happens, and probably cool it for this cell. I'll clear this graph. I'll start the logger and connect the power supply. Oh, turn it on. Turning on the power supply. We're at 800 milliamps. So there doesn't seem to be a restriction in the membrane. That seems to be giving out the same sort of milliamps thereabouts. Alright, I'll get back. Okay, that's the last charge in that setup for this cell. The next charge, we're going to put it in the mixed liquid, how it is like that, and see if there's a difference. This one's getting slightly darker in its coppery colour solution, and it's the frothy one. So when that starts frothing, that's probably just this stuff mixing and frothing up. Okay, we're ready for a discharge. Voltage is overkill for it, but it will speed up things. Alright, I'll let that run and I'll report back. Last run for the separated graphite pads in the twin tub. We got 24 minutes somehow and 19 milliwatt hours on it. Not too bad. And is there anything left? Somewhat, a little bit better. And now we're going to try it in the mixed solution, see if there's a difference compared to having the separated plates in that cell. Alright, I'll connect it up and I'll get back. Okay, I got the cells nearly ready. I was just noticing something, but this was in the orange side tub. Sort of a little bit of a breach there, but I don't think it's playing much of a part. The front of the plate's clear, so I'm not really sure where the that colouring is coming from. This was the positive side plate. Can't see it on there. The negative side has a bit of zinc build up, I think. See the grey patch? That's around the window. Oh. Of this cell. It's right at the same location, so it's plating in just that area. How weird. Alright, so I presume this is still the positive side. Yep. Just swap the data logger over. Connect one side of the power. So we'll try a charge in the same electrolyte tub. Connecting, oh no, starting data logger. Connecting power. It's doing 800 and dropping. So it's around about the same milliwatt for the same cell. So the separator seems to be working okay, not restricting too much. That was just a one layer acetate membrane on paper towel glued in with silicone. Holds up quite well. It pulls really tight as well when it dries. Well, you have it towel dried, sort of, after you wash it, and then you stick it in and... Alright, I'll let this charge. Okay, back with the charge of this cell with no carbon, and I'll start a discharge. Someone's knocking at the door. I'll be back. Okay, the split cell's actually looking better than electrodes in the same tub with no separator. Definitely a difference in milliwatt usage. Well, I wasn't expecting that. And that was 18-minute charge. Alright, I'll get back with an update. Back, the first discharge of the two cells in the same electrolyte tub without a separator and without carbon. 13 milliwatt hours and 16-minute run time. Not too bad for just plain graphite. And just the standard electrolyte we already used. So definitely the graphite's doing stuff as well as the carbon. The layered carbon does sort of somewhat work, but a bit troublesome. So 2 maybe maximum levels. I'll try another 2. Well, this 3's still not doing too bad. I'll give this cell a charge one more time and we'll see if we're still getting 13. Oh yeah, I can just clear the chart now. I've connected the data logger in reverse already. Press that, connecting charge. Now, 900 milliamps. dropping. The voltage doesn't seem to drop as much as the separated version, so the carbon's definitely doing something. I'll be back in 15. Okay, second charge for the cell. Stopping monitoring. Disconnecting charge. It was 15 minutes, nearly 16 maybe. Yeah, something close. Okay, we'll see what the second run produces. The last run was 13 milliwatt hours on probably 16 minutes it was. So it's holding 2.1, dropping. Running test now. Drops rapidly. That's the end. Okay, I'll get back with an update. The second run of the 2 electrodes in the same electrolyte cell test, 15 milliwatt hours, round about the same, 17 minutes. Now we'll look at the electrodes while we're here, because that probably pretty concludes it. We could make another cell, but it would be a duplicate, I guess. Bit of zinc, I think, coating there, and pretty clean on this side. Oh. The cell's held out. There's just that one little bit which is starting to get green now. Must have leaked in from the corner here and down. The other side's all good. Starting to separate there though. Oh yeah, we got copper there. Oh, no, I can't view it. So that electrode's nearly on its way out. Oh well, so layering somewhat sort of works, a bit troublesome, and you'd stick to a couple of layers I guess, but the paper towel technique's not too bad. There's not a lot of material on it, so you got to expect that. And thanks for watching. Just discovered something. The next day, the tub's gone clear. The one on the right side there was the brownish copper coloured one, and that was the darker side. There's a bit of settlement at the bottom, but I don't think that's it's not much, not compared to what colour that liquid was. So it must have dissolved back into solution, everything. This little cell's still running. I gave it a 2-minute charge. It's been running that motor there for nearly 3 minutes. It's about to run out. Well, it will run a bit longer, but yeah, power wise. Alright, I was just interested about that colour change in the liquid.